So when I was a teenager, I didn't actually need glasses, but I would occasionally, for a very important exam, wear like a suit and wear glasses to take the exam. And I used to joke, well, if I look smart, I'll feel smart and I will be smart. Now, of course, I was a very diligent student and I would study, or I was just kind of, good at taking tests, whatever it might be. I think on this often because there is something to be said for showing up as we wish to be in the world. And it's not faking it till you make it. I want to be clear that it is a distinction from that, because faking it until you make it is kind of like it's a mood making, as my teacher would say. You're talking about yourself and it's all talk, but you're maybe not following through with the actions of it, or you're not actually studying or taking the material actions that need to follow and underlie whatever it is you say you want to be or do in the world. Because in the Kybalion, which is another, very ancient spiritual text, there is the very famous concept of so above, so below, so within, so without. And so, how we show up in the world it's not that on a superficial level, it's important what you're wearing or how you wear, but it is an action. It's a choice. It's an expression of something internal. I had a yoga teacher who used to always talk about why is it important that we, as to the best of our ability, subscribe to certain kind of archetypal forms or alignments or energetic patterns to create energetic flows in the system. Well, it's because, you're extrinsically organizing yourself to create an intrinsic state. And this is, by that logic too, it's why you wear a Star of David or a cross or any other kind of emblem as a piece of jewelry or otherwise. You're taking something extrinsic, you're reminding your consciousness and others, but really you're reminding yourself when you see it, when you feel it, when you are just wearing it all the time, that it is a constant reminder to your own consciousness of that which you wish to make intrinsic, these values or these ideas or this philosophy. And so in that way too, your sartorial expression, your clothing is similarly an outgrowth of that which is intrinsic to you, which isn't to say it's about the labels or it's about, how much you spend. It is just to say it's a celebration of an aspect of your selfness. And it can also help you get into an aspect of yourself that, maybe you don't display every day, or that you want to explore in a different way. There's that Gandhi line, like, be the change you wish to see in the world. But on a very material, practical level, that, yes, that means, on a spiritual or an ethical or a political level, and, take the subsequent actions that follow. But it can also mean if you, for me personally, my credo is I want to live life as art. And I believe that beauty can change the world through art, through creative expression. Well, then, it's kind of incumbent on me to, in whatever way seems organic for myself, to show promoting or embodying beauty or, creative expression in whatever way I can day to day, which isn't to say that it's going to always be to other people's satisfaction, because beauty is, yes, it's in the eye of the beholder. It's subjective. But it's just to say that if you're enjoying what you're in, or you are, charmed or bemused by it. Sometimes I wear things just because I find them funny. Or I also, I'm a big textile person. And so I'm interested in the consciousness of the textile, who made it? Was it made by hand? Is it an organic fabric? Because there have been studies about the properties of wearing organic and natural textiles versus chemically laden things. And also the socio kind of impact of, something that was made by a cooperative of women in South America versus in a factory in Bangladesh or this or that, right? And look, we can all make different personal choices. There's no right or wrong. It's not about this is better than that. But, if it's your consciousness is drawn to expressing certain things or wearing certain things, then, there is a certain kind of joy or beauty that you will feel and embody, and then radiate to the world as a result of really making a choice, not based off of trends or what Vogue is telling you or what anyone in your life is telling you should or shouldn't wear. It's much more about some kind of, in external expression of something much more internal and intimate about your capital S self. So, I would continue this look smart, be smart, whatever ethos in high school. And I had a lot of great clothes for Model UN. I mean, my friends and I, we loved our Model UN conferences, but I had a very particular vintage Gucci portfolio document that I used to carry around my like position papers and whatever else in. And I used to sometimes hear like sotto voce comments about this like pamphlet organizer, like, I don't want to go up against that girl in a debate. And I mean, this is silly. It's superficial. It's just kind of a funny reminiscence. But it is to say, it helped me play the part, not because I was faking the part. I was actually always, from a young age, a very good and trenchant debater. But it allowed me to fully relish that aspect of myself, of what I was there to do. And, where else was I going to use that? I was going to high school at the time. There really wasn't an outlet for it. And it was a beautiful piece that had been made so, wonderfully. So look smart, be smart, feel smart. Take that where you want in life. It doesn't have to be for an exam. But ultimately, life isn't so much a test, but it is an exam of sorts, right? We're getting to write out these kinds of essay questions where there's no right or wrong answer, but we're constantly getting to demonstrate to life what we're willing to offer it. And everything is reciprocity, right? So you show up for life expressing beauty, expressing creative interest, or expressing whatever values you express extrinsically, and it's going to feed you back the kind of the mirror image of that, or it's going to equal you in some way, because everything is this ebb and flow energetically.